Welcome to a harsh reality broadcast on the 25th of February 2013. The UK has lost its AAA rating and yet the markets continue to rise. This confirms to me that many people do not act in a rational manner. This is now going to be one of my easiest predictions, and that is, the markets are going to crash, and I believe it will be a very severe crash. I also found it interesting that the US government planned to ease quantitative easing. Yet despite that news the markets are still rising. Okay, first of all, there is not a cat in hell's chance of the quantitative easing program ceasing, no chance at all. It may be temporarily suspended, the rate of QE may even be reduced, but I can assure you that the government will continue to debase the currency. In the UK the politicians have openly said that the UK downgrade is nothing to worry about. I find that astonishing. The US also seem to think that their downgrade does not matter. I happen to think it matters, and the comments from our politicians are reckless. The government want us to believe that everything is fine and that there is nothing to worry about. As I have said in my previous broadcasts, when everything seems calm and controlled, against a backdrop of truly awful fundamentals, that's when we need to worry. I am convinced that behind the scenes the governments are preparing for economic collapse. I truly believe that the National Defence Authorization Act and House Resolution 6566 have been passed to deal with the civil unrest. The time in the UK is 9:20 hours and the FTSE index has risen 0.69% in just under an hour and a half, and this is following a downgrade. It has convinced me that many people do not think logically. In a nutshell, we are heading for an economic collapse, but it is just like the band playing on the Titanic whilst the ship is sinking. People are ignoring the warning signs. The next major issue for the US is the debt ceiling. Will it be raised? I have no doubt it will be. The facts are these. If the US government did not continue with quantitative easing and the raising of the debt ceiling, the US would enter a vicious deflationary spiral. Gold and silver would plummet. However, the US will do everything in their power to prevent the deflationary spiral, and that is why they have to continue debasing the money supply with QE. They simply had no choice, because a tipping point was passed many years ago thanks to the abuse of the debt-based fractional reserve banking fiat monetary system. Make no mistake at all, the banking elite became very rich at the expense of the ordinary person. A massive transfer of wealth took place. I believe we are near the end game. You can only suspend reality for so long. However, when the collapse happens it will be truly catastrophic, and our standard of living will fall significantly. Our standard of living is falling now, but it will be nothing compared to what is ahead of us. I am buying gold and silver as I believe it will be a hedge against inflation. I do not subscribe to the people who believe that we are going to enter a period of deflation because the government will not allow it. That's why I see an inflationary future, and that's why I see gold and silver rising. As governments become more desperate, the faster they will debase the currency. It's nothing new. It has happened before with fiat currencies. My subscribers will note that I have given a prediction that gold may rise above $2,000 an ounce by the end of the year. I have based my prediction on the governments continuing with quantitative easing and the loss of faith in the dollar by the BRIC countries. I also believe that there will be a move towards a gold standard.